I always was an insectophobe. It's a pure phobia, because my fear of insects has no logical justification. Costa Rica features many bugs. Most of them are fine, but not all. I will start with the least harmful among the harmful insects. First, termites. They ruin wood. Just observe it and treat with appropriate treatments, preferably ecological. That's it. Next, grasshoppers. Can be a problem, but only if you are in agriculture. Not many are, so we won't waste our time on it. Besides, most crops here are being sprayed with pesticides and other poisons. Despite its natural appeal, Costa Rica abuses this crop in its agriculture. Let's move on to the serious stuff. Among those who can make your life here harder are ants, ticks, some wasps, hornets, cockroaches and scorpions. Let's start with ants. Only in cartoons they are cute, hard workers. In real life, ants are mean and nasty. I don't mean mean in the human sense. All non-human creatures are governed by the programs called instincts, you know it. So they are non-responsible for their actions. All animals and insects are devoid of morals and ethics. They work off their karma and not generate more of it. They are deprived of the opportunity to commit more crimes, like prisoners, which they essentially are. And we too. Some other time we'll talk about how this world is made and functions. For now, let's try to refrain from the fallacy called anthropomorphism, ascribing animals human qualities. Ants reproduce at an incredible rate and take over everything they find, from breadcrumbs to your whole house. Yes, eventually they will claim your house too, if you do nothing about it. For them, you're an occupant, a foreign body. You can show them your lease, taxes and electricity bills you pay, they don't care. Once they settle down on any territory, it becomes theirs, and anybody on it is an intruder or food. Ants will keep trying to drive you off their territory by all possible means. Most of them take advantage of their numbers, some using their venomous mandibles. Among the most remarkable ant species here are the bullet ants. If you are curious why they are called this, allow me to educate you. Their stings are as painful as gunshots. Try to imagine the feeling, especially when several of them are attacking you at the same time. I saw these ants in the forest and in the houses. I was lucky to be careful and didn't get in touch with them. But I also saw the result of their bites. Once I was visiting a friend living in a small cabin in the forest. He was a former MMA fighter, so the concept of pain was very low on his list of priorities. But when he got bitten by a bullet ant, he was moaning in pain, cursing and swearing in languages he didn't even speak. So it's really bad. Most other ants sting not as painfully, but they still can be quite unpleasant. So always watch where you step, be it at home or outdoors. Walk barefoot only in a familiar insect-free territory and keep your house clean, especially kitchen. Because ants find food within an hour or so. After 3-4 hours, there will be hundreds of them. I don't understand why. There is no freezing winters here, they don't hibernate, but still, with manic persistence, ants stock up on food 24/7, 365. Maybe they know something about the future we don't. Let me go get a few extra bags of rice, soap, matches. Kidding. Now, ticks. They are super welcoming endemics. Wait for tourists more than any street vendor. Ticks often wait on the top of the grass leaves. Then, when you get close, they jump on you or on any other self-delivering food that walks by. So, going for a hike, always wear good shoes with high, thick socks and spray them with an insecticides. Speaking of which, I don't use anything industrial, read poisonous. Here is my insect repellent recipe, simple yet working as a charm. Add a handful of cloves into a jar of rubbing alcohol, let it soak for several days, shaking once in a while. When it becomes dark, like black tea, add to it your favorite essential oil, it's optional. Put it in a sprayer and shake well before each use because oil tends to float on the surface. Just beware, everything you put on your skin gets into your bloodstream. Since I don't consume alcohol, I spray it only on my clothes. It's up to you. I also spray it around the grass where I plan to spend some time like barefoot meditation with energy supply from the earth. Yeah, one more thing about ants I forgot. If you store any bags or boxes that you don't open for a while, pack them as hermetically as you can. And inspect them every now and then. Because ants inhabit everything. It is not fun to open a box with your books and watch hundreds of them running around carrying their eggs. I deport them out of my house using vacuum cleaner, then emptying the bag outside. Most of them survive, good for them. Next, wasps and hornets. Most of them are harmless, living their lives, minding their business. They can build their nests on the walls or under the roof of your house, but they won't bother you if you don't bother them. Unlike ants, wasps don't claim their territory. They're okay with their little ball nest that looks like a ball. The only time when they can hurt you is when they see you as a threat. Then they will be protecting their little home, but only for as long as the threat is present. For example, when you get your curious self too close to their nest. Another situation may arise when you get too agitated near their homes. They feel it and may try to calm you down. It happened to me once. I had a very heated phone conversation on the patio when a couple of them fired their warning bites at me. Stings, I don't know. Not too painful, but very sensitive. I was lucky to host the kind of wasps that don't sting to death. But in the forest, you can meet absolutely vicious hornets. At the slightest hint of danger, they send out their SWAT team instructed to kill right away, without warning shots. So be super careful hiking the Costa Rican forest. Usually forest rangers know where the hornet nests are. They advise visitors, put signs and warning tapes around the area, but not always. Now, cockroaches. Here in Costa Rica, they don't bite, unlike in some West Asian countries. I'm getting used to them, in part thanks to scorpions. They are next on our list. Still, cockroaches are hideous. Here they can be as huge as 7 inches. This is not an emotional exaggeration. I actually saw them and measured after they passed out, of course. Someone told me these huge guys are called archbishops because their wings, when open, look like its mantle. Also, cockroaches here fly, and they can land anywhere, including you, so beware. There are also forest cockroaches. They are smaller, green, and very cute. I even can take them in my bare hand without a welding glove, and I don't kill them. Last on my list are my favorite, scorpions. In Costa Rica they are not venomous, but nevertheless are extremely repulsive. Yet I got to like them in a weird way. First, one can respect scorpions for being a perfect killing machine, able to hold their prey with claws while stinging or eating it. Unlike flies, ants and mosquitoes, scorpions don't bother you. We are not the link in their food chain, thanks God for it. Still, their stings are very painful, and you don't want to get in touch with them. Those who experienced scorpion stings describe it as a white-hot needle gets under your skin. I think I can skip such experience. To avoid close encounter with scorpions, here are some observations and tricks that I use. These precautions allowed me to remain stingless for over 4 years that I'm in Costa Rica. First and foremost, be observant. It pays off and pertains to everything in life. Still, I had scorpions walking on me twice. One was climbing up my leg, God knows why. The other one fell on me from the ceiling, or it was in the t-shirt I just put on. Both didn't sting me, both died quickly and painlessly. Scorpions are introverts, like me. They avoid crowds, don't like partying, and stay alone most of the time. They mind their own business, another reason to respect them, and don't like to be in the spotlight. Just like us, scorpions like to live in clothes, with the only difference that we put the clothes on ourselves while scorpions crawl into them and call it home. So I always store all my clothes inside out. Turning them back before wearing reveals whatever might be hiding inside. Another good habit is to shake every towel or dress you take, even if it was in the closet or on a chair for a few minutes only. I don't need to say it, but stretch out your hands when you shake your clothes. If anything falls off, it's better fall on the floor than on you. But now I think if you need to be told this, you deserve to be stung by a scorpion. Some people need to step on their own rakes in order to learn something. And of course, check your shoes before putting your feet in. One technique I have developed is smashing the clothes against wall. If there is an insect in it, after a hard shock it will either die or get knocked out. This will give you a tactical advantage when you see it. Now about scorpion behavior. When there is no danger, they travel in the open spaces. They crawl under some objects only when hiding from danger. Still, I routinely check under the blanket before going to bed. At the slightest danger, scorpions freeze, hoping to remain unnoticed. If they see that immobilizing doesn't help, they try to escape, usually crawling under any object. There they freeze again, ending the chase. Now you are into the smashing part. By the way, if you are a pacifist and don't want to kill a living creature, here is something to consider. There are 8,400,000 life forms in our universe. All of them have to die a natural death in order to evolve into a higher life form. Otherwise, the living creature has to re-enter its current life form again and again until it finally dies a natural death. All except for scorpions and snakes. These two species should be killed in order to go up on the evolutionary ladder. So by killing them, you are doing them a favor. Just be nice. Make it as quick and as painless as you can. Scorpions usually wear dark outfit combinations of brown, dark and black. If standing still, they are hard to notice, so it is why I don't recommend using patterned towels, bed sheets or the floor tiles. Here's another trick I use to protect closets and beds against scorpions and any other crawling insects. A vessel, a jar, several inches wide. I pour vinegar in it and place all closet and bed feet right in the middle. So far nobody joined me during my sleep or was found in the closet. I could use water, but vinegar has another benefit. It absorbs odors. Finally, scorpions have an interesting peculiarity. They shine bright fluorescent color under the ultraviolet light. It's very nice of them, actually. In the evening when it gets dark, or early in the morning when it's still dark, I routinely inspect every room with the ultraviolet flashlight. You cannot miss it. If there is any, you will see it right away. It will be a bright, beautiful creature, quietly sitting, minding its own business, or slowly walking on the floor, sitting on the wall. Now, about killing part. Sleeper is going well, taser. You can use this spray, but it's extremely toxic and stinks, and stink remains for days. As Jim Rohn said once, prevention is always better than dealing with consequences. So I use this powder. You can buy it in any store for a few bucks. It is odorless and pretty harmless for humans. Besides scorpions, it also repels ants and other crawling insects. Mix half of this pack with about a pint of water, pour it into a spray bottle and cover the bottom of the house on the perimeter all the way, in a continuous strip. No gaps. Do not miss pipes, cables, wires, everything that insect can use to crawl inside. For 2-3 weeks after such treatment, the house is scorpion free. Unless you got some of them inside the house. Then they won't be able to get out. There are many more interesting creatures in Costa Rica, but most of them won't bother you if you don't start first. I want to finish with a wonderful example of the mainstream stupidity. Quote, scientists don't know how many insects are in Costa Rica. They believe that they have discovered about 18% of them. How about it? Someone could digitize the infinity and 18% of it. Whenever I see scientists have discovered, I don't read any further, because this is the most non-scientific statement. Someday I will share with you my not so humble opinion and knowledge about the modern science and how unscientific it is, and about the world we live in, how it functions, why it was created, what we are doing here. I was on the subject for many years, and I have something to share. I hope it helps, hope it was interesting and useful. If you have questions, write to me and follow me. There will be a lot more interesting and useful stuff.